Okay, what's up, guys? So I'm Edward Air, and I grew my agency last year, 2023, from 0 to 100K in 5 months. And on this channel, I teach you how to do the same thing. Now, this video is going to be, I'm going to be talking about basically the progression that you're going to have in your agency or your business as you grow it from 0 to different milestones, benchmarks along the way, okay? And what I mean here is let's do a whiteboard, which we have set up. Okay, let's call this something like progression of work as you're scaling to 100K per month plus. Okay, this is gonna be your journey in terms of the work that is being done inside your agency as you're scaling to different milestones, thresholds. Let's say thresholds. Okay, so from my experience and our experience growing Boom Boom. Okay, so it's the 3rd of January now, 2024. Let's just look over the last year, as I always show you guys last year. Okay, so here it is. So again, from 0 to 10K here, and then 18K, 20K, and then 30 to 50K, and then 100K, still around there, and then up to 400K plus, okay? So along the way here, there have been kind of different thresholds that we've reached, and I would classify them as this. Okay, the first one is going to be your 0 to 10K per month. Okay, that's number one. Second one is going to be 10 to 30K per month. Okay. Third one is going to be 30 to 50K per month. And the next big jump from here is going to be to 100K plus. Okay. So, and obviously 50 to 100K, that includes like getting up to 100,000. Okay. So what I mean here, if we're looking at this, is that at every single stage of this, you're gonna face different kind of challenges and different needs of how many people you will actually need inside your agency to make stuff work. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna say is that you can easily do these two by yourself, alone, doing all the work, doing everything. But once you start crossing into this range, based on this current agency model, where you are getting very high margins, 70% plus after the first month, okay? Here you'll need to hire out and start adding people to the team. And then 50 to 100K is gonna be similar. So let's say you add people here, and then in this range, which is 50 to 100K, you just work with those people. And then once you hit 100K and you get past that, okay, that's when you have to grow the team more. So what I wanna say is it goes like this, okay? When you're starting out your agency, it's just you doing all the work. So we have you right here, one person, and you're doing all the work. These are units of work, okay? And this line separates the inner world from the outer world. Okay, so let's say this is inner, this is outer. Okay, outer world is everything you do up to the point of signing a client and getting paid. Okay, once they pay you, it's inner world. They're your client, you have to do work for them, you have to fulfill everything you promised on the sales call and everything you built up your agency to be. Okay, so at the start, you're doing all of these various things in the outer world, and then once someone signs up and becomes a client, you also have to do all the work for them inside the inner world. Okay, now there is a lot of stuff involved in both these things. What I'm laying out on this channel is really how to do all the outer world as we've done it. Okay, how to just copy exactly what we've done and run it in your agency, do exactly the same thing to be able to achieve the same or even better results faster. Okay, with the coaching that we're going to do, it'll be everything outer world and inner world. So outer world, how to get clients, inner world, how to fulfill clients, how to fulfill work for clients, how to keep them happy, all that sort of stuff. Okay, now back to this. Outer world, you're talking about when you're starting. Let's start from 0 to $10,000. It's gonna be the first big stretch for you, okay? This is where you don't know if anything's going to work. And presuming you trust me and you trust the stuff I'm saying on the channel, you kind of know the pathway, but since you haven't done it yet, you don't trust in it fully, all right? Once you have $10,000 coming in per month from your clients, like, okay, like I understand this business somewhat. right? But in reality, you actually do have a 10K. You have kind of all the pieces necessary to grow it to 30K, 50K, 100K plus, okay? It's just the next stage will require you building a team. Now, at the part where we're here, 0 to 10K, 10 to 30K, right? Again, you're gonna be doing all the work, and depending on how fast you wanna go, once you hit 10K, you can start hiring out and adding people on the team. But realistically, I would suggest doing it yourself, right, at this point. Because you only really, as an entrepreneur, someone who's starting out, you only want to hire out when you physically cannot handle more work. Like people ask, when do I hire? How do I know when to hire? You hire when you are no longer physically capable of doing the work. Now, I don't care if you're talking about hiring a $2 per hour Filipino virtual assistant, or you're hiring an entire operations manager, or someone to take care of the inner world for you. Okay, in all cases, it's going to be the same metric when you're starting out. You only hire when you can't do the work yourself. Okay, that's why I'm saying 0 to 10K is easily done by yourself. Okay, 10 to 30K is a little bit harder, but if you're dedicated, and you will be, right, and you're focused on this, you can still do it all yourself. Above 30K, you want to start getting people in. Okay, so outer world consists of all the stuff we've been talking about, right? Setting up all your profiles across social media, Instagram, which we're going to focus on, right? Priming the profiles, getting your outreach done, getting your outbound done, getting your leads ready, right? Talking the leads, nurturing the leads, getting them on sales calls, sending them all the funnels, doing your website, doing your calendar, doing your booking link, figuring out the script for your sales calls, actually doing sales calls, getting payment gateways set up, payment processor set up so you can take cards on the call live and charge them, right, when they give you the card number. All that sort of stuff goes into the outer world. You can handle it all yourself. Now, someone signs, becomes a client, okay? Inner world, now you have to talk about onboarding them, right? You need a process for that. You have to actually be able to deliver them the results that we were talking about. Okay, now I know in earlier videos I said, okay, you're able to hire out, and yes, do, but I don't consider hiring a contractor to do one thing for you, or even if they're consistently working for you, but a contractor is not really part of the team yet at this stage. So when I say 0, 10K, 10 to 30K, right, you will have other people doing stuff for you. You'll have contractors from 5 or upward doing things for you and fulfilling some parts of the service, but they're not hired as full-on team members, right? That's important. That's an important distinction. Now, inner world, all of this stuff, right, arguably becomes harder because there's more work to do the more clients you get in, right? Outer world always kind of stays the same. You do the same amount of stuff and you know how many clients you're going to end up with. But when you get one client, suddenly you have, okay, let's start again. You have a set amount of attention per day that you can dedicate to whatever you want, right? If you're focused, dedicate most of it to work because you want to make it this big and you want to have financial freedom and travel freedom and money freedom and everything, right? That's why we run this stuff. At the start, all your focus and all your attention is going to outbound, right? Outbound, outbound, outbound. And then eventually, quickly, hopefully, right, you get your first client. When you get your first client, attention shifts. So this part of it now goes to the client and this part is left for outbound, right? But because you've already established the process for outbound while you were building everything up, right, it's okay that you have less attention to give to outbound and you focus more on clients. But the issue comes into play when you get more clients, right? So let's say, I don't know, again, we have 100 units of attention. Let's say at the start, 100 units are being given to outbound. You sign one client, let's say 10 units are given to client 1, 90 are given to outbound. Sign 2 clients, another 10 are given to client 2, right? You have 80 for outbound. Third client, now you have 30 units of attention per day given to 3 clients, and you have 70 for outbound, etc., right? When you hit the limit, whatever it may be, let's say it's 5 clients, right? Let's say you get 5 clients and they're paying you 5 to 10,000 a month. Let's call it 5,000 a month, right? 5 times 5 is 25, right? That's about right. That fits this 10 to 30 where you can do stuff yourself still, okay? When you have 5 clients, they each demand 10 units of attention and you have half your attention a day out of the 100, half going to outbound and half going to clients. And that's okay. When it starts to get past that, right, and you start doing more than half of your day on client work, that's when everything slows down and grinds to a halt because you don't have the necessary attention needed to get more clients, right? So what happens to people, why they actually don't scale, and when people actually get to a decent level, let's say $10,000 a month, because that's a good level, right? And I've seen so many people not being able to scale further. Why? It's because they're doing all the work themselves, right? And they don't have efficient systems in place. So instead of each client taking up 10 units of attention, they take up 20, right? And then when you have 5 clients, 20 times 5 is 100. So all their attention is on retaining the clients they already have and fulfilling work for them, and zero is on outbound. So that's an issue. That's why there's no stagnation and there's no growth. Okay, so you always have to keep that balance. You have to be aware of that balance as you're growing this stuff. Okay, now when, let's say you cross the 30K per month barrier or around there, right? You're gonna need one more person at least on the team, right? And the way we did it is we have, again, outer world, inner world, divided into things. Here are all the things that I'm doing in outer world. Here's all the things I was doing before in inner world, right? But now I have a person here who does all of this stuff for me, and I do all of this stuff, okay? And this guy does the onboarding call with the clients, introduces themselves, etc., gets them set up so we have all their information, and we start working on their stuff, right? Working on their websites, their email flows, their offers, their ads, their creatives, everything we promised, right? And he coordinates with the freelancers, contractors, to give them new clients. Say, okay, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. And then it's hands off for you. You don't worry about that, right? All you focus on now is outer world, more clients, more acquisition, and at the same time, building systems to be able to grow your business sustainably, okay? So this is about the, again, 30 to 50K level. You can handle it with 2 people, okay? Once it gets to 50K, this is where it's gonna be, you probably are going to need one more person in the inner world. Okay, and this is exactly what happened with us, right? And this person in the inner world, we got our creative director there, and she was doing all the creative aspects of deliveries for clients. So setting up, let's say, wireframes for the websites we create, right, with high conversion rate, giving briefs to the video editors and the graphics guys on what to do for each client, right? Doing customer avatar research for each client to make sure we know how to advertise to the people who actually want to buy their stuff, right? Because remember, we're working with Shopify stores. And this was vital. So at this range, when you hit 50K or so, going up to 100K, you need probably a 3-person team, right? And you can also start delegating more, right? You can start doing, like, let's say, I mean, at this point we have VAs doing outbound, right? I was just overseeing everything. I was doing the sales calls. We had one person doing the inner world and one person, a creative director, doing all the creative aspects of fulfillment, right? And it was good up to here. But then once we hit that mark of 100K a month, it means we have more clients coming in, we have more things that need taken care of. And at the same time, when you have that sort of growth coming in, you have already established processes. So you know what to do for each new client that comes in. But between 3 people, there might not be enough bandwidth, right, to deliver that to each one. So what happens is then you get a clone, right? So then we have a clone of our creative director who was trained by our creative director, and then this person takes on like the next 5 clients. We have a clone of our inner world guy, this guy, right, who takes on, again, let's say 10 clients, next 10 clients, and et cetera, et cetera. And this is how we grew, and this is what we have right now, is a system where we have clones of this creative director, and we have clones of the inner world guy, right? Who are doing the same thing, but because they're established process, because they're systems that we've already built, it's just kind of plug and play, right? And we know what the delivery is. And then the main person in each element oversees the team of clones who are doing the same stuff they were doing before as well, all right? So that is a little bit messy description of how you can anticipate progression and growing your team as you're building and scaling your agency. Okay, this is what happened with us, is what we're doing. Right now we have a bigger team because we hit bigger numbers. As we go past the $500,000 a month mark, we're gonna start getting kind of higher level people in who have experience from before, right? It's like an operations manager, like a real operations manager, or like the C roles, right? Getting them plugged in, getting them to clean up our systems, fix up our systems, make them more efficient, and oversee everything so that, you know, I kind of step out. So yeah, that's the trajectory that I anticipate happening, going the next threshold, right, which is gonna be $1 million months, but we'll see, and I'll share on this channel, but that's kind of neither here nor there for you guys, because you guys wanna get to, I'm assuming you're at 0, right? You wanna get to 10K a month, you wanna get to 30K a month, and then to 50, whatever, but this is what I'm teaching here, just those first kind of thresholds, how to get to them. But this little thing you see over here on my screen is my overview of kind of what you can anticipate in terms of hiring, in terms of team growth, in terms of fulfillment as you get to each stage of monthly revenue. All right, that's me, guys. Cheers.